Wonderfold Stroller Wagon worth the hefty price point? These wagons start anywhere around $600 and go well into almost $1,000. When we thought about having kids was when I started noticing them. Well, after a year of being a mom and eyeing them again, I finally made the purchase in June 2022. I'm gonna give you my very detailed and honest review of all the pros and cons of the Wonderfold wagon. If you're new, my name is Serein and I am a mom to one toddler girl. She is 22 months as I sit down to film this video. This channel actually started when I found out I was pregnant and feeling very lost and confused. I wanted to document my pregnancy and be as honest as possible. And through this channel, I've met amazing other moms and non-moms who have really been supportive. So this community has been really supportive and I love connecting with everybody over on Instagram as well as my TikTok. Let's get started with the review. In early June 2022, I decided I was going to purchase a Wonderfold. Originally, I had been eyeing the 4-seater, but that didn't really make sense for our family. We only have one kid right now. We don't even know if we're gonna have a second kid. And to be frank, I couldn't afford the 4-seater. I ended up purchasing the W2 Elite double stroller wagon from Wonderfold. The price point at the time was $529 US before tax, and it was free shipping. I did get a $20 coupon code by signing up for their newsletter. So that is an option if you purchase directly through the website like I did. Now I'm gonna go through all of the specs of the wagon and let you know my thoughts based on the specs that are listed on the website. I think that's gonna be the most efficient way and the most organized way of putting all of my thoughts of this wagon out there for you. The wagon claims it can seat 2 kids. Yes, it comes with 2 removable adjustable seats that go on either end of the wagon. We have never put both seats in there because we want the extra room to be able to put shopping bags, diaper bags, and just to give the nugget, our toddler, plenty of room to roam and be free. A little backstory before we get started too much into the seating option is that my toddler hates being strapped down. My toddler hates being confined. She is somebody who likes to run free and be able to move around, get up, sit down, all these things. Therefore, we've rarely been able to keep her in a regular stroller. And for the first year of life, we had a very difficult time having her out and about in a stroller. We ended up having to baby carry her whenever we were out and about and using the stroller more as like a shopping cart. We did eventually invest in the Duna Likey trike, which I have a detailed review of on this channel as well as my blog. And I will have a coordinating blog post to this video so that if you need detailed specs or if you wanna just pull up my quick thoughts, you can definitely check that blog post, which will be linked in the description box for you. Once she turned 10 months, she was able to ride in the Duna Likey a lot more and she really enjoyed that. And to this day, we are still using the Duna Likey trike when we're out and about, when we're taking a smaller car and don't have the Wonderfold with us. Because my child does not like to be strapped down and because my child likes to have space, the Wonderfold wagon is great in that sense. We knew that any stroller wagon was going to be a better option than a traditional stroller that she tends to fight. She won't sit in it for long periods of time if it's a stroller that's gonna strap her in. And to be honest, she's not gonna sit in anything that makes her feel more confined. So the Wonderfold is great in that sense because it's essentially a mobile playpen. Because we never put both of the seats in together because we only have one kid, we've never really seen what it's like to have her and another kid in this particular wagon. Now her friend has the 4-seater and her friend is close to her age, and during the summer when we were at the fair, both toddlers were in the 4-seater comfortably. I do have to mention the 4-seater is only a little bit wider than the 2-seater that we have, and both seats are next to each other on both sides. So while you could fit 4 kids in that, depending on the kid and depending on the size of your kid, it could be a squeeze. And same goes with the 2-seater. So while it says it can seat 2 kids, it really depends on how your kids are and whether or not they like to have more space and more room and if they're going to stay seated. The seats are removable and can recline. It is not easy to be removing and reclining these seats, and to be honest, we've never used it in the reclining position because it's just not that convenient to be reclining and putting pushing the seats. The reason I find that the reclining seats are not actually that easy to use as a reclining seat is because in order to recline, you have to adjust where the seats are hooked on the sides of the wagon. And because of the mesh paneling, it can be hard to adjust. Now, I like that it's hard to adjust because it's more secure for your child once it's there, but it's not necessarily like a feature I say you need, because your kid's not gonna really be reclining in this wagon comfortably, especially if there's two seats. If you're using it as a two-seater facing each other, they're not gonna have that much room to be reclining. My toddler has fallen asleep in the wagon while seated in the wagon without it being reclined, and she fell asleep perfectly fine. 5-part harness. The harness is actually really comfortable, and in the beginning stages, we were able to harness and strap her in, and she was very happy to stay in it. We do find that we can keep her in the wagon longer by not strapping her in, and because the walls of the wagon are high enough, it is pretty much safe for us to not strap her in. Now, if you're going to the beach or to uneven terrain, I highly recommend strapping the child in the harness, and I do like that it's relatively easy to use the 5-point harness. It's easy to snap on and it's easy to remove, and it is rather comfortable compared to all of the other 5-point harnesses we've used. The removable and adjustable sun canopy. This is a game changer, especially for us. My child deals with extreme eczema, and sunblock can irritate the eczema if we have to reapply it all the time. Now, while we don't let her be out in direct sunlight, sometimes it's inevitable, especially where we live, especially during the summer. So having the canopy be adjustable is really, really convenient. This is something that I find is missing from a lot of stroller wagons. They tend to just be stationary over the wagon, but when the sun is rising or setting, you're going to have sun coming in on different sides of the wagon. So I like that the canopy is adjustable by just shifting it to block the sun and or wind. Now, it's not going to be the most efficient for windshield because that's not what it's designed for, but when it comes to sun shield, it is amazing. It's also adjustable in height, which is great to grow with your child, and also if your child's laying across the wagon to take a nap, you can lower it even further for more privacy. My child is actually really tall for her age, so it's great because I can adjust it to make it higher, especially if she's kind of roaming around in the wagon. The sun canopy is amazing. I also like that it's really easy to remove and store within the wagon. I also like that when you fold it, it can still be there, so I don't have all these pieces to the wagon when it's in its folded compact state. The adjustable handles for parents is also a really good bonus feature. My husband is taller than me and has longer limbs, so he's able to adjust the handles relatively easy to fit his size and height, and then I'm able to adjust it really easily as well to fit my size and height comfortably. It's great, especially if you have different caregivers. This way you're able to adjust as you go, and it's actually really easy to adjust, and it's also a really comfortable handle. Lots of storage space. I agree and disagree with this. Now, there's a good size storage bucket at the handle area that has a zipper. It's a double zipper, which is really convenient, and I do like it. We usually keep extra wipes and diapers, as well as some snacks and toys. I do like it because it is a decent size, and you're going to be able to have all of your basic necessities in this compartment. I call it the trunk. There's a pocket on either side of the wagon that folds in. There is a slight magnet that will kind of hold the flaps to its side, but my toddler loves to pull at it. So you're not going to be able to store anything in those pockets that you don't want your kid to get to, because they're going to be able to get to it very easily. There's also a pocket in the front of the stroller, and that one has a Velcro. She can also open it and reach in there. She doesn't tend to do it as often, but that's where you can kind of keep the extra strap or any necessities you might need. But once again, depending on your child, it might not be the greatest place to place things, especially if your child tends to grab things and throw it out of the wagon. While there's all of these different pockets, they are accessible to the kid as well from the wagon carriage. There's also a hidden pocket where the canopy typically is covering it, but it's by the handlebars. And I like this pocket because you can put a lot of things that you want to have easy and quick access to, but your kid's not going to get to as easily. This one is where I would suggest keeping your phone or anything you need to get to quickly. However, what I ended up doing is purchasing an aftermarket phone and drink holder for the handlebar. I will make sure to link the exact drink holder and phone holder in the description box, as well as in the blog post. Universal drink holder that will work with all handlebars. Is a lot of storage, but not a lot of storage if you think about it that your child can't get into. All-terrain wheels with suspension and easy bearings for maneuvering. I do agree these wheels are incredibly smooth. It's got a great turn radius. It is pretty good for most terrain. Pulled it through sand, I've pulled it through grass, and the wheels do a really good job. Now, if you are thinking of going anywhere that's more bumpy, or if you're really going to be using this at the beach a lot, I do recommend upgrading the wheels to the extra large wheels that are all-terrain. You're gonna want a little bit of a beefier tire if you plan on going off-roading, so to speak. As is out of the box, it is doing a really good job with our lifestyle, and we are outdoorsy. We go into uneven ground a lot. It is a little bit more challenging to push this stroller in the sand. You're gonna wanna pull it versus push it in the sand, and that is why it also does have that option. But pushing it in the sand is just not convenient with these tires. I don't know if upgrading to the extra large tires will help, because I wasn't able to get my hands on the extra large tires during the summer months. It was sold out at the time of purchase. You should be okay with the tires that it comes with. We have been great all summer. We go to the beach, we dragged it through the sand with our child, as well as all of the toys and all of the beach gear. We also were able to push it through uneven pumpkin patch ground that's like more dirt and rocky. We were also able to push it through grass. Easy one-step brake. Yes, the brake is really good. It's a solid brake. It's easy to step down and to lift up with one foot. The brake is pretty sturdy, so I like that, so that if it's on the brake setting and my child wanted to run up against it, she's not gonna be able to push it too much. There's a front zip entrance to the carriage, which we literally have never used. The only time I used it was to show you guys in this video. It's there, and I could see it being helpful if you're trying to load something. I don't know. We don't need it. I don't find it useful or necessary. Deep carriage with mesh lining. This is so important. What I love about the Wonderfold is that the deep carriage. My child is tall for her age. She's rambunctious. By having the higher carriage, I know that she's safe, that she can kind of walk around inside the wagon. She can kind of hang herself out of it, and she is safe in the wagon. She's not gonna fall out. She's not gonna tumble out. We don't have to strap her in. She's gonna be happier in this wagon, but still feel like she can explore and be a part of her environment, but still safely confined in the push-pull stroller wagon. Love the height of it. It's going to last us a lot longer because of it. The breathable mesh lining, that is also great, because sometimes she likes to sit on the floor of the wagon and play with her toys. Having her be able to kind of either sit or lay across the bottom of the wagon, and knowing that she's getting that air and that breeze through is really important, especially where we live. It can get really, really hot, and I want her to have ventilation. Pull strap. This is where I feel like they cheaped out a little bit with the pull strap that's included. It's just a nylon strap with barely a handle. It's not the most easy thing to use, because when you're pulling it, it's kind of flimsy. It doesn't stay on the bar, and the handle of the strap is not the most comfortable. I would say if there's an aftermarket option that you can purchase and you find yourself you're gonna be pulling it a lot, then you're gonna wanna upgrade to an aftermarket pull strap. And there are cheaper wagons out there that are push-pull with a better pull handle. So if you're looking to be pulling the wagon through the sand or uneven pavement more, or uneven roads more, this isn't going to be the wagon for you. You're gonna wanna probably get one that has a much better pull handle that's more comfortable and more efficient. I will, of course, link the ones I think might be a good option for you in that sense in the description box or over on my blog. It's included. I just don't think it's the greatest. Have we used it? Yes, we used the pull strap for whenever we're in the sand at the beach, and it does work. It's just not the best. Easy to fold and stand. I wouldn't say it's the easiest to fold. We don't fold it very often because our car that we keep this wagon in it has a trunk space large enough for it. But if I were to need to bring the wagon in my car, I would have to fold it up. And while it's not the hardest thing, it's also not the easiest thing. And I am showing you how I fold it in real time. Because I don't do it very often, I'm a little clumsy when doing it. But I've also talked to my friend who has the 4-seater, and she's like, I can't do it the way they show you on those YouTube videos or on Instagram. She was like, I can fold it and I can lift it into the truck, and I can lift it out of the truck, but I do not look that graceful. It is not that smooth. While it is easy to fold, it will take some practice, and it is a little, you know, folding this is gonna be a little awkward, and it's not like the easiest, but it's also not very hard. So when people show you how they do it, it's probably been practiced and edited. I'm showing you realistically what it looks like to fold this thing, and it is gonna take a little strength and muscle, and it's going to take a little like effort. Is it easy to fold? Yeah, compared to a lot of things, yeah, it's relatively easy. Is it easy to stand? Yes. Once it's folded, it likes to just stay standing upright, which I do appreciate. It's relatively light for what it is to lift up into the trunk. But again, if you have back pain, wrist issues, or any mobility issues, this is gonna be a little challenging for you to get into a car and out of a car. The weight limit of the Wonderfold that I have and I'm sharing with you is 200 pounds, and the weight limit of each individual seat is 45 pounds. I wish I actually got it earlier. I have used this wagon at least once a day since we purchased it. We love having it with us, even just for everyday errands. It's so much easier to have her in the wagon and be able to put all our stuff in the wagon and push it with her than trying to lug a stroller or even the Duna Likey trike, which we still do use. We keep the Duna Likey trike in my car, and we keep the stroller in the garage or in Chris's car. For the most part, as a family, we use it literally daily. The cost per use has been worth it for us, and I wish I got it right when she turned 1. I think we would have made a lot more family outings more efficient and less stressful because she's so much happier in the wagon, and so are we. You're definitely going to get a lot of attention with this wagon. The first day we got it, we had people following us around, asking if they could take a picture of it, asking us if we could give them the name brand and where we got it. So it is definitely going to draw some attention. You're gonna get a lot of questions about it. It's something to consider if you're a private person. I've gotten a lot of people following us around with the wagon and asking us about it and wanting to check it out when we have it with us. I have noticed more and more people with the Wonderfold wagon specifically, which maybe will make less people follow you around, but it is going to draw some attention. You're gonna get lots of compliments in it. And it's something to just be aware of. I highly recommend it if you can afford it. It's not something that you have to have. None of these baby items or kid items do you have to have. People are able to live very full, wonderful lives without these products. I don't have any regrets in purchasing the wagon. My only regret was not purchasing it earlier or putting it immediately on our baby registry. My friend was able to find the 4-seater during the Black Friday sale at Saks, I believe is what she said. They're also available at Nordstrom, and then of course Amazon and Wonderfold. So I would check the prices on Amazon, Wonderfold, Saks, and any of the retailers around seasonal sales to see if you can purchase it at a little bit more of a discount. So those are all of my thoughts and breakdowns of the Wonderfold W2 Elite 2-seater wagon. I do not regret my purchase. My only regret was not purchasing it earlier and possibly not getting the larger one. For every single day use, I think the 2-seater is great for our family size, but I do feel like for a vacation or anything like that, I would want the 4-seater. However, I don't know that the 4-seater is within like the realms of being allowed to take it to Disneyland or anything like that. But I love, love, love this wagon. We use it daily, something that we're going to be able to continue to use well into her toddlerhood. So I do highly recommend it. Is it something you have to have? No. And are there more affordable options out there? Yes. It's not going to be the exact same, but depending on what you're looking for, you will be able to find options out there, and I will list list some that I think are very similar, but not everything's going to be the same like the Wonderfold, because the Wonderfold is very unique in its sense and its design. Now, I do have to say the quality of the Wonderfold feels really, really good. The only thing I don't love about it is the pull strap, but everything from the lining, the materials, the framing, the handles, everything feels very luxe. You definitely feel the price point when you are touching it, when your kid is in it, when you're pushing it. The wheels roll really well. You are getting a very high quality, well-designed product, and you are definitely paying for it, but you get what you pay for in this instance. Sometimes you don't get that. This time, I definitely feel like you can feel the quality and the luxury in the design. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was helpful and beneficial to you. If you need a quick detailed breakdown of this video, I will have it in the blog post over on my blog, sereinswoo.com. If you enjoy food content, I also have a food blog, and make sure to check me out on TikTok and Instagram for daily updates and daily videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys back here in my next video. Bye!